You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters.
Welcome, fellow Stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hello, Jude.
Hey there, Sarah.
How you doing? Our last week of February, entering March.
Yes, it clipped right by.
Here we are, episode 77. We're going to look at Sunday, February 26th through Saturday, March 4th-ish. A loaded chart, you said. Lots happening. Take it away. Where do you want to go?
Yes, it's loaded because there are so many planets piled into Aries. Personal planets and planets of consequence, centaurs, asteroids, dwarf planets. It's packed. Plus, we have at the start of the week on the 26th, we have the approach of Mercury meeting up with Saturn in Aquarius. Now, Saturn is just about ready to leave Aquarius next week, March 7th, during the same time as the full moon.
Yeah.
Saturn will skip across the line to go into Pisces.
Yeah.
But right now, during this week, he's at the end of Aquarius. So he'll be moving from 28 degrees 55 minutes to 29 degrees in Aquarius. And that 29th degree is the anorectic degree. It's the summary of all of the work, drudgery, and, the digging and the discipline and the, the responsibility and the structure that Saturn's been trying to lay on Aquarius, And Aquarius is kind of a freewheeling sign. It's a more public sign. It's a more for the people kind of energy.
Okay.
It honors the individual, but it also wants what's best for the collective. So it's about society and friendships and groups. Yeah. And Aquarius loves to support all those types of endeavors that are, for the benefit of all. What was that Vulcan saying? Or what's good for the group is beyond what is good for the individual, something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius is trying to, set some rules and bring some structure and organize and provide discipline. And it has brought some issues to light. I mean, I think this Saturn in Aquarius has really made us aware of the benefits and drawbacks of the internet. And especially, with the launching of this Chat GBT. Yeah. This is partly, I think, due to Aquarian issues, dissemination of information, and then Saturn organizing all that information, good or bad, I don't know, it's up for grabs. But Mercury applying to this Saturn is saying more information, structuring information, making information available. How do we make information available? How do we restrict information that we don't want available?
Yeah.
These airwaves lines of Aquarius are about the interconnectivity of everything. And with Mercury conjunct Saturn, it's about the availability of information and who gets to control that information and who gets to see it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of insight that's available now regarding the access to information and the availability of information and the structure of the internet and how things are made available, how knowledge is made available. So those kinds of conversations, as well as just organizing your own files. Maybe Mercury conjunct Saturn is going to be like getting rid of the stuff that you don't really need anymore. Like you've absorbed it, you've assimilated that information. You don't need to be carrying around these books anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a personal level to this. And Saturn really is about the weeding out, the separating process. What do you hold on to? What do you not hold on to? And I think that's going to be a topic in terms of information might be up this week. So that's a big highlight of this week is Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius.
Okay.
You might just keep your antenna up for any of those kinds of issues that come up for you, because this almost could be a bellwether to a topic of conversation about Pluto moving into Aquarius. So Pluto is now at the 29th degree of Capricorn, having been there for 14 years.
Right.
He's going to make a slide into Aquarius as well in March. You know, with this Mercury conjunct Saturn at the 29th degree in Aquarius, we might be getting a little bit of an inkling about what some of the pitfalls or some of the challenges might be with Pluto coming into Aquarius as well.
Okay.
We also have another applying conjunction. So the sun is in an applying conjunction to Nessus.
That means it's like it's approaching the conjunction?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the sun at the opening of the week, the sun is at 7 degrees Pisces and Nessus is at 15 degrees Pisces. And as the week rolls along, the sun will get closer and closer to Nessus. So by March 3rd, the sun will be at 12 degrees and Nessus is going to be at 15. So there's this approaching conjunction, the sun to Nessus. Now, Nessus is a centaur. So that's in the class of qualities of bringing things to awareness, healing. Nessus is about, and this is Melanie Reinhardt's interpretation, the buck stops here. So there's a kind of almost like a barrier of some kind. Like you've reached a certain point, you've got to be honest. You know, be honest, be truthful.
Take responsibility.
Transparent. Take responsibility. The other side of Nessus is advocating responsibility as well as a revenge attitude or a blame of pushing blame onto someone else. And then there's a revenge kind of mentality. So that's also something to watch for. The centaurs are a little tricky. Yeah. He's a bit of a hellraiser there. He's one of the Hell's Angels of the zodiac.
Bad boy. Bad boy. Bad boy of the centaurs. But that actual conjunction won't happen until episode 78. But it's in the works. We might be feeling the inklings of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so the exact conjunction is at the time of the full moon.
Right. Okay.
On that Tuesday, the 7th.
So we're just putting it out there.
It's important to pay attention to those feelings. So if there's a situation that's brewing, if you're involved with something that's extremely manipulative, or you're feeling like you are being manipulated, or if you're the point person for blame of some kind or revenge of some kind, you know, if you're sensing that at all, you want to be aware of that and you want to extricate yourself from that situation.
Excellent.
So the highlight of the week is February 26th. We have Venus at 7 degrees Aries. We have Vesta at 8 degrees Aries. We have Jupiter at 11 degrees Aries. We have Chiron at 13 degrees Aries.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Lots of Aries.
We have Juno at 22 degrees Aries, and we have Eris at 24 degrees Aries. So there's a pile of Aries energy. Yeah. That's where everything is on the 26th. Yeah. On the 27th, it's kind of like one of those perpetual motion.
Yeah, those
balls,
desk toys. Yeah.
Where you have you start a ball on a string on one side and it pings one ball and the other ball pings the other ball and that ball pings the other ball and the other ball pings the other ball. Venus is acting that way throughout the week as she moves through that slice of the Aries zodiac. So she makes this conjunction to Vesta. So Venus is, what are we attracting? Yeah. Venus is that principle of attraction. She's about money. She's about abundance, wealth. She's about what we care for, what we value, as well as romance, romantic relationships, partnerships, especially in Aries. She is about how does that partner relate to me? So there's a little bit more of a selfish signature with Venus in Aries. It's a little bit of a hot placement for Venus because Aries is so go out and get them. It's Mars's territory.
Yeah, Aries.
It's Mars's home. And so Venus is visiting Mars's home, and she's not, she's like the cool waters of Pisces. She's not into the hot fires of Mars. So she's moving pretty quickly here, though. She makes this conjunction to Vesta. Vesta is our dedication, a principle, the thing that we are devoted to,
Yep.
that we're dedicating our lives to, whatever that is for everyone. It's always different.
Yeah.
So she makes that conjunction. She stays there for a day. Then Vesta moves on to 8 degrees Aries. Then Venus hits up Jupiter at 11 degrees Aries. And then she stays there with Jupiter. They move together on the 2nd. They move it to 12 degrees Aries. And then on the 3rd, Venus makes a conjunction at 13 degrees Aries to Chiron. So there's this bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
It's asking us, all of these qualities kind of meld together over the course of this week. So what is it that we're paying attention to? What is it that's calling us?
Yeah.
Do we ignore that, or do we bring it in? Do we start to allow that to be working in our lives, right?
Yeah, integration.
And then it's bigger than us. Jupiter in Aries is all about me, but it's much bigger than our individual selves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jupiter is a social planet. It governs Sagittarius. It governs learning and philosophy. So there's a lot of integration that we need to do to bring these new ideas in and support ourselves in new ways.
Yes.
And then Venus goes on to Chiron, which is that part of us which always says, I could never do that.
Yeah.
And so Venus is like, no, look at the support you have around you.
Yes.
Look at all of the things that are saying, come over here.
Yeah.
Look at the things that are trying to support you and go there.
Yeah.
Know that you're supported. The setup is so brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you drew a card that was very much in alignment with that.
Well, what was interesting is last week, the 8 of Cups was part of episode 76. And for episode 77 this week, it's the 7 of Cups. So instead of last week, the figure was in the background moving away from the cups. And in this one, the figure is in the foreground, sort of staring at these 7 different cups that have 7 very different sort of options, aesthetics in them. Some are kind of archetypal, but this idea that you were talking about, what is Venus drawing our attention to? What do we want to integrate? It's sort of like, look at all the options before you. Where do you want to put your energy? What do you want to bring into your life? What do you want? From what cup do you want to drink? I guess could be one way to integrate the card, but yeah.
The card has all these different cups with
So there's a cup that has a snake coming out, which is sort of a metaphor for one's intuitive or psychic abilities, I was reading. And then there's sort of a chalice with a laurel wreath in it, accomplishment, success, applause. Then there's jewels overfilling a cup. And then there's also a kind of a castle rising out of a cup. And there's a godlike head of something coming out of a cup. So there's also one with sort of a dragon. And they could all mean different things to different people, but it's like lots of options, lots of possibilities. What is drawing your attention? From which cup do you want to partake?
Yeah, exactly. So while all of this is going on during the week, that exact conjunction of Mercury with Saturn is on March 2nd. So this rational, logical thinking, concentration and focus, organization, that also comes into play, as well as this intuitive Venusian energy that's calling us, to go with, to work on, to pay attention, to feel out our attractions. And then on the 3rd, Friday, the 3rd of March, the moon will make an opposition to Pluto. So this is also kind of a culmination where we can be honest with ourselves and really bring up the truthful feelings and just kind of chronicle them before we take action.
Okay.
The moon will continue to wax in Leo, and then we'll move on to that full moon next week. So it's a really important week, I think, to just pay attention to your feelings.
Yep. Okay. Well, listeners, you know how to reach us. Please send us an email at connect@sisterstargazers.com. Don't forget our Monday night live astrology deep dive show on wmpg.org. You can tune in on the internet from anywhere and hear that show Monday nights at 7 p.m. And we invite you all to take a look at the website, SisterStargazers.com. It's up and launched and new and happy, and we're excited that we have another way for people to visit us. You can find the podcast there, but also more information about your incredible sisters, my incredible sister, and ways to get in touch with us there. So thanks, Jude, for that deep dive into the Aries belt.
Yeah, it was great. Sarah, thank you.
We'll see everybody next week.
Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.